morning, everyone. Another Saturday morning with me, Cora Beatrice Anderson, don't you know? A, B, C. Get it? Well, as you know, it is Lent. Yes. And a few weeks ago I went to Ash Wednesday services and our priest said, and he made a lot of sense, he said, it's not all about you. And I felt like he was talking right to me. He said, just get over yourselves. And I contemplated that, and there's a lot of truth to that, yeah. And he told us, when you have your Lenten resolutions, you should maybe give up something. That's fine. Deny thyself. But also make a positive out of it by giving something of yourselves. He gave the example, like if you gave up candy for Lent, you should take that money that you were going to spend on the candy and donate it to something. So, I took it into consideration, yeah. And I was thinking about it and, I thought I would give up yelling at my husband. A big undertaking. My eyes were bigger than my belly, as they say. Yeah. Well, you saw my husband last week. Yeah, that's a tough one. But I decided I would give him constructive criticism, mind you, because what would he do without it? Yeah, he'd be lost. But I wouldn't scream it. Yeah. And I thought, well, I found out that it was really hard to do. Really hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. So every time I slipped up, which I knew I would donate a quarter to feed the poor children of the world. Yeah. Well, let me show you what's happened. And that's just from yesterday. That those poor children of the world are going to be eating lobster instead of rice before I'm finished. But I've been trying to do a little reading, a little meditating, And I was reading about the Last Supper now during Lent, and I started thinking about it, and what did they serve at the Last Supper? Well, on their menu was wine and bread. And I started thinking about that. Look what happens when you leave men in charge of potluck. There wasn't even a nice Jell-O salad on the table. No. And not any dessert, nothing. Yeah, I suppose they can't help it, but what would they do without us women? Yeah. Well, I asked Emma, I said, what did you give up for Lent? And she looked at me, and without even blinking, she said, you. I said, Emma, that's just mean. She said, well, you're a bad influence. I don't see me influencing her chugging down that choke cherry wine. And when she's all gossiping, what do? I just sit there quietly and listen. Don't raise a fuss at all. The old biddy. Well, that's a work in progress too. Yeah. So I hope you are having a good Lent. making a change in your life and in the world. Yeah. So until next week, have a good one. I thought about giving up Folgers, but I just couldn't do that to the world. No. Without my Folgers, I get perfectly crabby. Maybe next year.